Hi everyone, welcome back to Barbie Bakes. I hope you saw my last episode last Saturday. I have one up every Saturday, usually by noon. Okay, I hope you had a good week. Today we're going to be making tea cakes. Now, tea cakes is something that my mother made when I was young, and I didn't know the history behind it. Evidently, her family's from Wales, and tea cakes is really a cookie, but English calls cakes cookies. So it's an old-fashioned recipe that she made that I'm sure her mother handed down to her and her mother handed down to her. It's very simple with not that many ingredients. So the first thing I did, I preheated my oven to 400 and I sifted 4 cups of self-rising flour. Okay, now in this bowl, we're going to take 2 cups of sugar, and we're going to put in 2 eggs, and we're going to put in a stick of butter. This is softened butter, so you'll cream that in the eggs and the sugar. And then I'm going to put in a half a cup of milk and a teaspoon of vanilla. And she would make it for us. And my brother and I had 2 brothers at home, but my one brother, we really liked it when she made tea cakes. It was a real treat for us. And you know, the funny part is, I never got her recipe. What made me think of it was I watched the show Downton Abbey. I don't know how many of you guys have watched that. And every night they would take a little can of tea cakes up, the maids would, and put it by the bed. So I guess that would be kind of like their little snack when they got hungry during the night. Then I'll add it to the 4 cups of sifted flour. Now you can, once I mix it, the dough is going to be kind of sticky. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop it by spoonfuls on the cookie sheet that's lined with parchment paper and kind of press it down gently with my fingertips. Now you can roll it out if you want, but if you roll it out, you're going to have to make sure that you flour your surface. Okay, I'm going to add a little at a time to the flour. Now this flour is sifted, so it's real smooth. Make sure you sift it. And like I said, it's self-rising. I don't know, I guess you could use plain and add your baking soda and salt, but this recipe that I found calls for self-rising flour. I don't know how many this makes. I'm assuming it'll probably make at least 2 dozen. I like the fast, quick meals, and I know you've seen some of them on my videos because, you know, I raised 4 kids and I work full time and would have to get home and make dinner. So I always like the fast meals, especially when you have to work late or get home late. And then I got at a point where it was really nice. I didn't have to cook that much because the kids were bigger. And then of course the pandemic hit, and now I'm cooking a lot again. But that's okay. Some of these recipes I do seems to build muscles. My doggies are running around here somewhere. I usually give them a peanut butter treat to keep them quiet. Of course, now if anybody knocks on the door, I don't care what you give them. They're not quiet. They're my little watchdogs. If somebody comes in, they'll lick them to death. But we love our doggies. I could have 4 or 5 of them, but don't think my husband would like that. Okay, this is just about mixed up. You can see how the butter creamed in there real good now. Okay, you can see how it is when I'm done, and you can see it's gooey. So like I said, if you wanted to roll it out, you'd have to put a lot of flour on it. So what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm going to drop spoonfuls on the cookie sheet. Well, no, you know, I don't think I will drop it. I'm going to make little balls, and then I'm going to press it down with my fingers. Let's try it that way. I don't know how much these will spread out. Just about done with this. One more, and then I'm going to press it down. Then I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to put it in the oven. And it's going to take anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes. I think the next batch I'll make sure I got some flour out for so it doesn't stick. Okay, these are going to go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 7 to 10 minutes. So after 7 minutes, I'll probably check them. So I'll see you back here in a few minutes. They're ready to take out of the oven. We're going to let them cool just a minute. Then I'll put them on the cooling rack. Now the next batch, I probably won't get them that brown. It's a learning experience for me too, since this is the first time I made them. So anyway, these cookies, you know, it was 4 cups of self-rising flour and 2 cups of sugar. Now these are not a sweet, sweet cookie. So, you know, they're meant to drink like a cup of hot tea with. You have a cup of hot tea and a tea cake. That makes it a lot better because it doesn't take away from the sweetness of your tea. Now, just to let you know, this is my second batch. I burnt the first batch because I set my timer and it didn't set it right. I said 7 minutes, it went off at 17 minutes. Anyway, here's the tea cakes. Now these are a little bit browner than I want. So my next batch, I don't think I'll make as brown. So anyway, I'm going to make another batch, and while I'm dipping these up, I wanted to say thank you to our doctors and nurses in these times, and you know, our policemen and our firemen and our EMTs, and a special shout out to our essential workers, and especially to Promise. She is my little person that brings out my groceries from our local grocery store, and you know, don't forget to tip them and appreciate them. Okay, back to the cookies. Okay, like I said, I think I browned them a little too much. So my next batch, I'm not going to brown them as much. Like I said, this is the first time I've made them. So we're going to do another batch. And once I get these out of the oven, I'll get back with you. Okay, that's going to be good right there. See, I don't want them over this.
All right, we're on.
Okay, now, this has been an experience for me, since this is the first time I've made these. So, the first ones, I burned. The second one was a little too brown, and I think these are perfect. So, I did on the convection oven, which seemed to cook better. But if you don't have one, I would start out with 4 minutes and check it, and then add another 3 minutes, because you really don't want them that brown. And like I said, these are not a sweet cookie. They're semi-sweet, so you would want to have a cup of tea with them, because after all, I think that's why they're called tea cakes. Here's another batch, and this turned out a lot better. You want them kind of lightly brown. And the recipe I did makes about 5 dozen. So if you wanted to cut that in half till you tried it, because like I said, they're not really a sweet cookie, but they're great with tea. And like I said before, I think that's why they were called tea cakes, and it's a very old recipe, so it's not that sweet. Okay, thank you for joining me today. It's been fun. Don't forget to subscribe and like me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram. Okay, see you next time. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.